as a black race that wants to tear each other down rather than build each other up is what Terence Bud Crawford stated as being one of the reasons why himself and Errol Spence fights have not come through fruition. I ain't the one that said it, was Bud Crawford. How does Bud Crawford go and sue Bob Arum and say there's racial biasness when he went out there and talked about how his own race is divided? Ladies and gentlemen, you already know this is Punch Wrong Boxer, aka Mr. Moo Shine himself. Does he got a legitimate reason to say that? He feel like that his race divided the fans. You know what I'm saying? And he also called out channels. He didn't name any particular channel, but it looks like he listened to the YTBC. Or his peoples also listened to the YTBC, and he stated that channels out there, you know, create this narrative, you know, about 60-40, and things of that nature. Like if there was any money on the table, there was never money on the table. There was no negotiations. And I've been telling y'all folks, in this community, this interesting, toxic community is interesting, it's good, it has its bad. Terence Bud Crawford said, these narratives. Now we understand that we, you know, in this channel, we usually, you know what I'm saying, in this channel, sometimes we call out the narratives that's being pushed out there. But I didn't need to call it out. I don't need to call it out. But Crawford called it out. And I believe, I understand what he was trying to say. I understand what he was trying to say. And it just don't happen in the black race, to be honest. Let me keep it real with y'all. It don't happen. Y'all remember Oscar de la Hoya and Fernando Vargas? There was a divide right there. You know what I'm saying? The real Mexican versus the Americanized Mexican, the Chicanos versus the Mexican, you feel me? So there was a divide right there. Just like what they're trying to do to Canelo Alvarez and David Benavidez right now. So it happens. So I can understand what he means by it. I mean, look, this fight, Errol the True Spence versus Bud Crawford, it don't have to be even promoted. It's almost like the Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. It don't have to be promoted. It's self-promoted. That's the fight that most of the boxing fans would love to see. But I understood that, you know, it's the Errol Spence fan that has devalued, and most of the Errol Spence fans, you already know, man, he got the brothers with him, and especially in the YTBC. It's the Errol Spence fans that has shitted on Bud Crawford, going through resumes, say they haven't done this, they haven't gained that, playing it with the pay-per-view numbers. Hated when Bud Crawford talks about hated when Bob Arum talks about Bud Crawford, but then they shit on Bud Crawford themselves. The same people that love to shit on Bud Crawford be shitting on Bob Arum for saying the same shit, but y'all the one that say it in the YTBC. And then y'all want to call race. Then people want to call it racism with Bob Arum. But y'all don't want to call yourself coons when y'all shit on Bud Crawford. Right? This fight should have never been divided. These two fighters should be respected by the community. These two fighters should be respected by his race at the highest level. And when, you know, you shit on them, then it gives the green light for everybody else to shit on him. Bob Arum could be like, so why people so mad? His own fan says the same thing. His own race, I call me racist. So what I'm gonna call you? You bunch of coons or something? Your Uncle Toms? Y'all the one that be shitting on Bud Crawford. As a matter of fact, I talk about Bud Crawford because y'all talk about shit about him. Y'all say that he can't sell, but I can't say that he can't sell. Bud Crawford stated that this side of the street and this side of the street actually did divide. The promotion did divide. The lead up to the fight of Bud Crawford and Errol Spence, or the lead up to the potential fight, yes, has divided the people. But what Bud Crawford is saying is dividing his own people. It's dividing the black race. Now, there's going to be people out there that's going to be, you know, disagreeing with Bud. So now, how does Bud Crawford go and sue Bob Arum and say there's racial biasness when he went out there and talked about how his own race is divided. How's that going to work now? How is that going to work? Maybe Bud Crawford's lawyers be like, damn it, Bud, why the F are you going to say that? I'm going to say it again. How does that help Bud Crawford's case versus Bob Arum? Because Bud just stated that your race is divided. So how can you complain the racial biasness? How? Maybe Bob Arum understands your race is divided. You the one that told me that. If Bud Crawford could say that publicly, maybe he discussed that with his team as well. Maybe he discussed that with Bob Arum as well. And Bob Arum like, man, yeah, your race is divided. Maybe this is why we can't get the fight. What is it? Now is a question of Bud. What is it, Bud? Is it racial biasness, or is it that your race just doesn't support the fight the way that they should, the way that you would like? Is it that you don't sell pay-per-view? Maybe because the black race does not come out and support you the way that you should be supported? Is it that? Is it the lack of support? Is it the lack of push? Is it devalue this? And this is what we do in the YTBC. A lot of fans like to devalue fighters, like to devalue just to prop the fighter that they like. So they devalue Bud Crawford to prompt Errol Spence. And we got to be honest. If we're going to talk about just the YTBC, the YouTube, because he's the one that mentioned channels. Let's keep it real. The high traffic channels, y'all know who y'all are. Y'all on the side of Errol Spence. Y'all are the one that be shitting on Bud Crawford. Y'all on the side of Errol Spence. Is the Errol Spence, he is the poster boy of all these channels. Just like Deontay Wilder was. So I'm just talking about channel because I'm just reporting the news, because Bud Crawford was talking about channels and was talking about the black race. So it just makes sense. I just think make logical sense that he's talking about, you know, the pro-black channels in the YTBC. I ain't gonna mention names. Y'all could put it together. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe I'm just assuming. What y'all think? You know? I know this news was yesterday, but let me know what y'all think, man. Let me know what y'all think. Is Bud Crawford correct to feel the way, or he just contradicted himself, or he just don't want to take accountability that probably he just can't sell, or whatever? Maybe he need to take responsibility and not blame it on the fans, or not blame it on the black race, or not blame it on the division. Or maybe people gonna be like, hey, yo, you the one that divided yourself. You the one that stuck with Bob Arum. Why you didn't sign with Al Heyman and go with a brother? And probably if you would have signed with Al Heyman, you probably would have got the fight. Like Sean Porter got the fight. Like Keith Thurman got the fights. Got the good fights. Like Lamar Peterson got the good fights. I don't know. Maybe it's that. Maybe Bud Crawford need to take accountability. Or maybe the race. Or maybe the culture need to take responsibility for not supporting their own the way they should. I don't know. Y'all let me know. I think I got an idea, but I'd rather talk about this live, and see the comment box and see where we're going to be talking about this later on. Let me know what y'all think, man. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, give updated videos. I love y'all. God bless, and on to the next.